So this is part 2 of day 18, Genesis 19 through 22. And I left off at Genesis 21 when Sarah put Hagar and Ishmael out. I guess like Abraham's kingdom or his area, because she felt like Ishmael was mocking, I guess, the situation. I'm not sure what Ishmael was mocking, but she was offended by whatever Ishmael was doing. But I'm like, girl, he's a child. She was really probably just bothered because she just didn't want Abraham other kids to be around, honestly. But anyway, she put them out, and Hagar and Ishmael go on out. Abraham give them like water, some stuff, supplies, so that they could be good. But they ran out of water. So Hagar put Ishmael under a bush. And I was like, I don't know, in my head, when I in the past I thought Ishmael was probably like young, maybe 2 or 3, but now that I'm reading the Bible for myself, I already know he got circumcised when he was like 13. So he's probably like 14, 15, and she done put this teenager under a bush, and he was under there crying. But he like 14, 15, he able to do some stuff. Like, I was perplexed by that. But anyway, he's on there crying. God heard him cry. When Hagar opened her eyes, she seen a well, and she was able to fill the thing with water. And that's when God told her also, like, Ishmael is, gonna be blessed and multiply, and God's going to keep the promises that he made to Abraham through Ishmael as well. He just can't be on the land and on the property that Abraham is on with Isaac. So anyway, she filled up the water jug. It says Ishmael grew up, and Hagar found him a wife from Egypt. And if you could remember, or I don't know if I mentioned, but Hagar is from Egypt. So she just found him a wife from where she was from. Makes sense. Then it goes on to Genesis 22. And here is where God tells Abraham to take Isaac to a mountain in order to sacrifice him. And Abraham did just that. He took him up there, took the supplies he needed and everything, told the people to wait down. He was taking Isaac up to worship, and they'll be back. And he also said that on the way up there, Isaac is like, we got all this stuff to make a sacrifice. We ain't got nothing to sacrifice. Like, what we sacrificing, Dad? And he didn't say anything about what the sacrifice was, but he did create the altar or whatever, and he put Isaac on the fire thing, on the logs, getting ready to slice them. And right when he was getting ready to slice them, an angel spoke to him and said, no, there's a ram. And it just so happened there was a ram stuck, so that was going to be sacrificed. And God said, since you was willing to sacrifice your first son, again, I'm going to multiply your descendants, going to be great. And this is where I felt like he moved the post yet again, because if you remember last time, he just said, you gonna have descendants. They're gonna be many, you can't even count them, like the stars in the sky. And then the next time he was like, I'm gonna give you many kids, many descendants, but you have to circumcise everybody, all the men. And now he's like, I'm gonna give you many blah blah blah, but you gotta sacrifice your son. However, there was a ram in the bush. I think this is where people be like, how many know about that ram in the bush? When people be testifying, but they don't testify no more. But like when people used to testify, they used to say, but how many people know about that ram in the bush? I wonder if this is the ram in the bush that they were mentioning. I think it is. I don't know. But as I read the Bible, if I read about another ram in the bush, maybe it's that ram. I don't know, but I think it's this one. I don't know. God would provide, right? They go around in the bush. But anyway, so yeah. He said that since you were willing to sacrifice Isaac, Yeah, Isaac is the second son. Since you were willing to sacrifice Isaac and show your dedication to be the Lord, I will have you. I will give you many descendants. So, yep, that wraps up day 18.